Swine Before Pearls podcast with Joel and Trent.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Swine Before Pearls. This is the best show ever. Oh my gosh, I'm a YouTuber. I'm making a YouTube video. Please like and subscribe and donate to my Patreon.
Smash that like button.
Do you think that'll retain the viewers? Sure.
I haven't felt anything real for like a year.
Thank God. All right. Welcome to the pig show, Evan.
Thank you.
Hey,
Look at that title up top.
hey, look at
Is
that.
Adam Sandler a good actor?
That's a great title.
What do you think? Is Adam Sandler a good actor?
Yeah, what's your
Evan?
opinion? Real quick.
He can be.
He can be.
He can be.
Good
That's
answer.
that's a pretty similar conclusion to what we
He
came up
can
with.
be. That's not.
I think he needs the right director. He needs a guiding hand.
Sure.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Who
Yeah.
doesn't need a
Especially-
guiding hand?
Especially.
Man.
All right.
Do you guys ever watch Inglourious Bastard?
Yeah.
Did you know the guy, he was the bear Jew in that?
Yeah.
Quentin wanted Adam Sandler.
Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it is because it's not Spock, but he kind of looks like the guy who plays
Yeah,
Spock.
but you can kind of tell that it's like he was thinking of Adam Sandler for that role.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
All right. What
That's,
do you think of Mice and Men?
Well, this is
Whoa.
yeah.
We're just jumping right into it, huh?
Jumping right in.
Feet first, baby.
So before we go into what he thought of it, let's talk about what we're talking about, which is of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in why you picked Of Mice and Men to talk about.
Yeah, true. That's a good question.
Well,
Better
there is a bit
question.
of
Trying to
history.
save this thing, dude.
Dude, I'm not here for a good podcast. I'm here for a long podcast.
Here for a good time. No, so my family has always been big fans of Steinbeck, and East of Eden is kind of like our family. And I first suggested, let's do that. And then I think Trent looked at the 500 pages and was probably
That's-
not doable.
Bro, I
That's
can
too long for
barely
Joel
I can
specifically.
barely read the
Specifically.
menu at McDonald's. Don't give me Steinbeck, give me a break.
You still
well-
got Steinbeck.
Yeah, did you listen to all of it?
Yeah, I listened to
Okay,
all of it.
nice.
I don't know.
Did
who-
you
I don't know
enjoy
who
the
wrote
Spark
it.
Notes, Joel? Did you enjoy
Dude,
them?
I watched the 4-minute Family Guy episode they did on it. It pretty much told me all I needed to know.
That's good. I'm glad. I did not watch that.
What part do they kill Stewie?
Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
I watched the what was it? Oh, it was the SNL skit about it.
Oh yeah.
That I didn't find that to be a very good skit personally.
No.
I haven't seen.
Oh, it's like the classic, like we're going to poke fun at something that we like vaguely remember but don't remember well enough to
Yeah.
actually criticize in a valid way because it like brings up elements that would be addressed by the text and is like, isn't this kind of a plot hole? And it's like, no, if you actually read the book within the last 10 years, you'd remember that that's not a plot hole. It's addressed by the book.
Yeah. No. Sure. No, but like this is also one of my favorite books. I'm just a big stuff. And since you're doing pearls before, figured that
You think this is a
Tasty
good
pearl.
good pearl to throw chunk
Yeah.
in front of us? See
Yeah.
how we ruin it?
Well, the last podcast episode I saw, I noticed you guys were talking about dating apps. I'm not
Oh,
sure
yeah.
if that's
We did.
qualifies as a pearl.
No, that's slop.
That's
Swine-
more-
swine-
yeah,
slop.
slop.
That's just like
Maybe that could be-
like Wednesdays at the trough, man.
Stays at the trough. That's what we gotta call those.
Yeah,
sorts
those
of episodes.
trash, our
Yeah,
trash
this is-
episodes where it's like, Trent, what do you want to do? I want to talk about dating apps. Okay, well, we didn't study for anything, so let's
Yeah,
just do that.
that's the old desperation.
I like
we had a plan
desperation.
for 1 month, and then we ran through the plan, and now we're
Mm.
out of ideas.
Nice. Okay, I need to catch up, but
Okay,
No,
I
you
will.
that's okay.
No, you
A
don't.
confession. No. So one of the things that got me listening to it again, a secret.
Mhm.
Times 2 speed, guys.
Oh,
Times 2 speed.
Times 2
Yeah,
speed. You
for
guys
me-
sound like chipmunks, And
I'm a big believer in time 2
and
speed.
Trent, when you
baby.
laugh, you just hee hee. It's great.
I'm a big believer in time 2 speed. I watch most of our movies in time 2 speed.
No, I can knock out like 5 or 6 episodes in one workday.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yo,
That's
wild.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. No,
I'm
You
so
heard it
happy
first.
for you right now.
yeah. Thanks.
Dude,
No,
for
that's
any,
like
for any Swine Before Pearls fans, go ahead and watch in 2 times speed, and then watch on repeat. Do the old Justin Bieber trick.
Yeah. Get us some streams.
Yeah.
So you chose this book, and it's because it's an easier read of an author.
An easier Steinbeck.
I was.
that
Yeah,
you
it's
really
kind of like
enjoy.
a gateway to Steinbeck.
Okay.
if you
Okay,
will.
he's trying to get us hooked.
actually.
So it's like
If you guys ever feel like I want to
marijuana.
think about the truth and be sad and stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
That's all I do all day.
there's another book actually that my family loves called Travels with Charlie, and that's when John Steinbeck is like an old man in the 60s. And I mean, he wrote in like the 30s, and so he's kind of not really on the scene anymore, but he wanted to just kind of, he's like, I don't recognize America. And I'm like, I want to be reacquainted with it. So he takes his poodle, Charlie, and he goes on a trip around America, and it's awesome.
I love good trip around.
I feel,
Americas.
I feel like you would
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
that one.
Oh
Joel.
yeah, dude. I was
That sounds like a very Joel sort of
I was
story.
always big into like Krakauer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
good 60s Jack Kerouac, good 60s, you know, traveling dudes. But yeah, dude, I like this book.
Yeah, I did too. Although it
I
kind of
never
ruined my
read the
day.
I never read this
Definitely
book.
ruined my day.
Here's the thing. It's very interesting that this book has such a cultural hold that like I kind of already knew what the book was about.
Tell me about the
before-
rabbits, George.
Before, yeah,
like
before I
everybody's
even
heard
read it.
that before.
Yeah, my brother Daniel, he's a big dude. He's really scary. He put a BB gun up to my head one time and said, "Tell me about the rabbits, Joel." I don't think that man even knows what a book is. So.
Well, you knew about the rabbit.
Well,
I
he
mean,
sure did.
for a lot of high schools, it's required reading. It wasn't required reading for me, so I actually started on kind of a square level with Joel this time.
This is just us like doing what the education system didn't do.
Yeah, I mean, I had read a good amount of the classics. I read The Great Gatsby.
Why?
You know, I read 1984.
Society.
Yes, Society. You know, more people need to read 1984 because if more people read 1984, they would agree with my views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So I like this book, though. I think it's funny. This actually, this book was brought up to me the other day. I have a friend of mine who's got a daughter, and his daughter, she's very affectionate, but she's very, she's a little slow, and they got her a rabbit.
They got her a rabbit.
And my buddy named the rabbit. Guess what he named the rabbit?
Lenny?
Lenny.
Oh,
And I
my
was like,
gosh.
dude, that's kind of cruel.
That's
And
messed up.
he's like, man, let's just like call a spade a spade. Like I've seen her with stuffed animals. like,
No.
like I just kind of know what she's gonna do.
No,
This rabbit.
Dude,
at some point.
horrifying.
wait. If Lenny had a stuffed animal,
Do you think it all could have been?
I think it
averted?
all could have been a different.
No,
Did
because
they? When did stuffed animals like come into? Surely they had teddy bears.
oh yeah,
At this time.
well, teddy bears was
Well, I think it was. I mean, it was written in 1936.
yeah.
But they're also poor dudes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, if it's
Teddy
this
bears
much
gotta
of a
be
problem,
expensive.
if it's this much of a problem, like you got to drop $100 on a teddy bear. Just, I guess, land was worth $600, so maybe that's. I don't know how inflation
That's
works.
quite
I
extravagant.
don't think the teddy bear would have like stopped him because somebody would have walked up to him and said, "Hey, would you like to experience the new textile touch, aka my hair?" You know.
That's just the difference.
Actually, like, do you guys want to recap the story real
yeah,
quick?
let's
Yeah.
recap it. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
short enough
We're
story.
getting ahead.
It's great because it's a short enough story that we can recap it with like very relative ease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So, America, California,
ooh,
19
Tell me more.
something.
1985,
1930, 40.
probably the 30s.
It was
Oh,
written
Great Depression.
1937.
Ni-
So- okay.
1937.
Yeah, it took place during the Great
We got
Depression.
these two dudes and they're migrant workers.
Yeah.
but they're white. So that's something. No, but there's these two dudes. They're migrant workers. They're going from farm to town, farm, railroad tracks, whatever you, and they're looking for work. And one dude, his name is old Slicky. He's a dude, and he's a smaller dude. He's got Lenny. Kind of like Lance, honestly. When you first suggested this story, I'm like, does like Lance like think of himself as Lenny? Like, does he really relate to this guy? Because
name starts with
he's
L.
like a gentle giant that has the capacity to like break your hand.
Here,
No, that was not.
Because
touch my hair. Real
Did you
quick.
picture
Touch my
me
hair.
when you read about Lenny?
Dude,
That's
I'm not gonna lie.
no.
Like, you were the one who said, "Let's read this book," and I'm like, big guy, big hands. Reminds me of Lance, except your IQ is
a
way
little
bigger
Yeah,
than mine.
you're Lenny if he was never kicked in the head by the horse.
You're Lenny if you went to like a city college. So, anyways, so that's all I got.
Yeah. Oh, so you're just setting.
I'm
the
round rob.
space.
I'm round
Okay.
robin
So,
in this
okay.
this B.
All right. I'll take the next bit then.
Mm.
So anyway, they show up at this ranch, right? And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do some labor." And
Hard work.
George tells Lenny, "Hey, dingus, just stay quiet, stay in your lane, and I'll carry us through." And the owner of the farm's like kind of sussing them out, like, why ain't this guy talking? Kind of a weird situation. And yeah, so they're working on the ranch.
Yeah,
And
the guy who owns the ranch, is a good business owner
Yeah.
because he didn't ask too many questions. He just hired cheap labor, and that's what we don't do in this country anymore.
America.
You have to have a
Yeah, we
resume.
moved past that.
Yeah, you need to just hire cheap labor.
Mm.
Never mind the neck tattoos. Never mind, the panic attacks. Just hire the guy. He can operate a forklift.
Yeah. And then there's Curly, and this guy Curly, he's up to no good. He's known for picking fights with guys who look like Evan Lancelot.
So Curly, I think, has a Napoleon complex, from
Yeah.
what I gathered.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's got the short man syndrome, which is never a good look.
No.
He's got a hot
No.
wife, but he's short, and he really wants to fight
Yeah.
bigger guys.
And he do got a hot wife, and nobody respects his wife. They just call her Curly's wife all the time. kind of wild like
That's
that.
kind of a bummer.
I actually can't even remember.
I don't think she has
What
a
she's
name.
called.
I think her
Curly's
name is just
wife.
Curly.
Yeah, I think
When I
the
was
entire
watching the
book
YouTube
calls her
videos of her
Curly's
getting
wife.
strangled, it was all just Curly's wife.
Wait. Okay.
I wanted to watch.
Should we move past this?
No,
Yeah,
just keep
okay.
talking.
Yeah, we
It's
can
not
keep
like
going.
this story's been out for like.
Spoiler
80
warning for the
years.
1930s book that everyone knows about. Hey, so plot twist at the end. Everybody, spoiler warning. Skip to the timestamp listed below if you don't want spoilered. But Lenny gets shot in the back of the head at the end of the book.
My man gets boofed. So keep on rolling with the story.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, like one of the reasons they left their old job and they're working in a new place, right? That we forgot to mention is the fact that Lenny, like, he's so he saw a woman wearing a dress and he's like, "Oh, that's a really pretty dress," and he just wanted to touch it.
He just
Like
ripped it off.
totally like a kid, like super innocent. And so, but he's this big dude and he grabs this dress and she starts screaming. And like George has to come save him, hits him over the head with like a piece of plywood.
Yeah.
He's like, we've got to get out of here. And so one of the reasons, like, he's just so scared, he's like, "Lenny, just don't do anything wrong.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah, he's trying to protect him.
You know, I feel like Lenny would have benefited from working at Joann Fabrics.
Just touch all the fabric.
Just touch fabric, man.
Different place, different time.
I'm sure they had a Joann's kicking around the Dust Bowl during the Great Depression.
Dude,
Yeah.
There had to be
Joann's
some-
feels straight out of the Dust Bowl.
There had to be some crotchety woman out there who needed to sell fabric at an overpriced price. But yeah, dude. So yeah, they're all like, "Shut up, do your job, meet the wife." Wife's a hussy. I wanna spotlight the wife, dude. She's
Yeah.
she's a bad lady, man. And I
She
don't think
kinda
anybody
bad.
really likes her though.
No.
So that makes me think maybe she's not that attractive because nobody seems to really want to like mess with her. Like everyone kind of like.
Well, I think it's more just because at that place and time they want to keep their job, you know. And it's Curly's the son of the big boss,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, okay,
Bro, lizard brain.
Dude,
Lizard
lizard brain Lenny, baby.
Lizard brain Lenny, man.
You don't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. That makes sense.
and in some place you kind of feel bad for her. I feel bad
Yeah.
for her a little bit.
No, yeah.
Well, you
she's
have
married
to
to
for it.
Joanne Fabric.
She's dead.
No, I feel bad for her before
not
she
alive.
was dead.
Yeah, I mean, the book itself is like kind of down on her, and so as I was listening, I was like, oh, I don't really trust her. She's up to no good. She's always wandering around asking. She's kind of got this infidelity going on. But then, like, it kind of like as it resonates with you, you're like, oh, like maybe we can't trust the information we're getting from the characters in the book, and maybe George's warnings to Lenny should be taken as Lenny's abuse and may very well kill her.
Yeah.
So, interesting part in all this too. Like, it's funny because I feel like what's his face going out and shooting the dog. It's an interesting correlation. Almost like it's a precursor.
Sure. Foreshadowing.
I think it's
I would
just
say
saying
call
that
it.
there's a pistol available.
That's Chekhov's gun, baby.
Well, and at one point, Candy says he's like, should have shot my own dog. Should have done it myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, and then George has to shoot his own person.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what a book.
But we didn't. So Lenny totally kills Curly's wife.
Yeah.
And it's not on purpose, but he just, it's just a bad situation, and she starts screaming, and he covers her mouth. He's like, "Don't scream!" And
Don't scream.
he's like, "I'm gonna get in trouble," and he accidentally kills her, and
Yeah. Which,
That's her fault.
yeah. But kind of the running
Yeah.
theme throughout the book is that Lenny consistently asks George, and it becomes like kind of a routine that gets stuck in your head of they talk about they want to own their own land, and it's kind of a conversation they have over and over where Lenny like asks George to recount all the things that are going to happen when they own the land, and it's this dream they have. And so the kind of theme running out throughout the book is like, oh, is this going to happen? And it doesn't, and they hit that disappointment of like, yeah, we were working towards this thing and we were this close, but because of the humanity within Lenny, that dream crashes and burns pretty hard. And the upsetting thing about George killing Lenny isn't just that they're two friends, but that the dream kind of dies with Lenny.
Yeah. George basically gives up on ever doing.
I think he did
that.
it like 15 years later.
You think so?
Yeah.
He got his own land,
Yeah.
and he was like,
Screw that guy. No, man, I do think though that Lenny killing the lady, I think that's I think I kind
I
of
think
laughed
that's a bad
at that.
thing to do.
No, well, here's the thing. I kind of laughed at it because it was like, well, listen.
Okay.
Let's
no,
set this-
just let, yeah.
Let's set the scene
Okay,
here. You got
okay.
this big dude. Yeah, he's kind of a lovable idiot. But he just like killed a puppy, man. like he's literally like upset that he killed a puppy I would just be like, that sucks, and walk out of there. But no, she's like, the man who killed this puppy, with his digits, now put them on my hair, big guy.
Yeah.
That's like walking up to like a bear den
Gorilla.
covered in honey with bells on, and then being like, gosh, I hope this works out good for me.
It's really more of a cautionary tale for all of the Curly's wives out there of don't let a man who just killed a dog
Don't
touch
get a
your
big
hair.
strong man. He will kill you. No, so I thought that was interesting. I did chuckle at that because I just thought it was like,
She was pretty stupid.
that's pretty stupid.
Oopsie, oopsie.
Buki Baka.
If you're listening to audio only, you might be like, what was that jump in audio? If you're watching the video, what's the jump in video? Oops.
Joel has a drink now.
We accidentally lost the feed while talking about what a big mistake
Oh, geez.
Curly's wife made, and Joel just spilled all over the table.
I didn't spill all over.
So,
It's like a
sorry for the
smidgen.
interruption. But anyway, let's try and
what I
get
got a
things
shirt
back on
sleeve.
track for this disjointed podcast.
Shirt sleeve.
So anyway, yeah, basically Curly's wife, big oopsie, kind of a not smart move.
No, and she definitely wasn't portrayed as a smart person.
No.
Not a smart lady. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why she was perfect. I think they could have been very happy together.
Only if
God bless her.
No.
So
I was rather upset about that. I did not have Joel's experience because I got to the part where he was where he had just killed the dog. Oh, this is kind of horrifying. Like when it was the rats, I was like, yeah, he kills the rats, but he kills the dog, and I'm like, oh, that's really, that doesn't feel. And then he starts touching Curly's wife's hair, and for the entire book, I was, how's it gonna? Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah, and
This is where it's
the
going.
worst part is at the start of the book, it kind of feels like, okay, there's no way they're actually gonna hit it.
Yeah.
But just due to events, like there's this other guy who wants to on it with them. I have 300. We could get this in a month from now. Like it's possible.
we gotta
And-
do.
Then that happens.
All we gotta do is not kill any wives. And
You ever had that happen? Where it's like you just don't get the land. you
Because
don't
you
live
kill
off the
the
fat of the
you kill some guy's
No,
wife and you don't get
but-
the land.
like life kind of comes together in your mind. Is this actually happening? Is this actually real life? Am I gonna get everything I wanted? Then if that doesn't happen, you just like slowly start watching it. Like you're reaching out for it, and it's just not quite there, and ever so slow, or maybe all at once, all comes crashing down, and you like just feel this heartbreak for lack of control you have, and how perfectly things seem like they were not that long.
Pretty much every day.
It's just that downhill slope. Are you at risk of your dream falls apart every single day?
Pretty much.
What's
Maybe of Mice and Men is for you.
Yeah. Are you a day trader? Is that what's going on here?
Just over that hill, man. That should be the modern day version. They're day traders.
They're just sitting at home trading on their computers.
Yeah. And instead of like him killing like guy's wife, like
Crashes.
he like
the Dow
crashes
Jones.
the internet or something. But no, man, it's a. So let's keep on with this. coherent way.
I
We've
all the
pretty
points.
covered
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we
Yeah,
didn't
they're gonna
get to the
somewhere.
point.
they're gonna lynch Lenny because they find the
Yeah.
dead body,
And
and
then
then
George-
shoots him.
George says, "Fine, I'll do this."
He says, "Look out, look out! Tell me the story. How we're different from guys. We're different from other guys because
We take care of each other.
we take care of each other. I don't think
I mean, we're different from other guys. George. Who's Evan got? He's the third guy in this podcast.
nobody.
We
got nobody.
We got each other. Tell me about the rabbits, Joel.
Well, got a whole field of them.
And I get to tend to.
You can tend to them. Do
Oh,
a pretty
wow.
crappy
Oh,
job
wow.
of it.
We got alfalfa.
Why didn't they give him a different job in that dream?
Well, because that's part of the dream, right? Is that like he gets to have the soft thing. Great job taking years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think about the book?
Overall, I think it's you know what? I think it for like classic Americana, I think it's a pretty good read.
Yeah.
I think there are some classic American tales that are really stretched out, and you know, there's I don't know. It's just like I like this story because it tells a lot in a short amount of time. It gets to the point.
Likes it. And
Oh,
is it still going?
we're still good.
Oh, you just stepped.
I guess so. Yeah, I like it. It's I like it, but I think some of the best stories can be told in a short amount of time. You know?
The writing is so good.
Yeah.
Which is, like,
It's the dialogue, excellent.
yeah, and it feels timeless. Like, it feels like it could have been written. I don't know. It just doesn't feel aged. Maybe it does.
Yeah.
No, it
But I
doesn't.
agree.
It doesn't feel that aged. I could see that happening. You know, on somebody's farm. You know, and the thing too is it's kind of a bygone era, but like you know, a lot of the fundamentals are still there, and I don't know. I think it's just like a folk tale. You know, it's like a classic folk tale, and the thing about some folk tales is there doesn't really have to be a moral of the story, but I think the moral of the story is like, you know, shoot your friend in the back of the head.
Or the moral of the that you got them.
Well, and I think it's also like a story of helping and enabling. You know, like yeah, he took him to another farm.
Yeah, with another woman.
He took him to another
First
farm.
mistake.
He put him in the same scenario and almost expected something different to happen.
Well, yeah, and George even.
Yeah, I
I-
should have seen.
But I knew this.
Yeah. And I think it's honestly a good character lesson in helping people if you're able to help the person who can't help themselves, you know? And ultimately, as that kind of caretaker guidance person, the thing was like George got wrapped up in the dream just as much as Lenny did, kind of pushed him into the scenario that wasn't really that good for him. Okay. Almost expecting things to be different because at the end of the day, he wanted the just as much as Lenny did, you know? So kind of put his priorities before like, hey, look at this wife. Okay, that's not good. Stressed. Look at, you know, here's these dogs, you know, like here's all these things that's going to play out exactly how he knows it's going to play out. The dream. And it's like he almost compromises everything for the dream. And then at the end of the day, he has to be a decision maker. You know?
Yeah.
And when he kills Lenny, he kind of stops enabling his own behavior and Lenny's, which is a really harsh way to do it, but it's almost kind of metaphorical for like know, he could have took Lenny and ran out again, tried to go find a different. And I probably guarantee you, the same exact thing probably would.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of share my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. It's that I didn't, because it made me feel really bad. But
It's a tragedy.
yeah, it's
Freak track.
you know, I'm always looking for different works of what's going to be the thing that says something to me that I've always thoughts, and maybe something that I hadn't even articulated, something that rings. And I felt heard by a lot of the harder life experience I had. Felt validated. The story being how they really hard make the life for them, and it ended up probably been this close, all coming, and when it falls apart, you start looking, and if everyone was have to.
Yeah. Good. There's just something about, and that's actually part in the book. Characters sharing the life of parents. Characters Chinese, and parents came from China. Railway, and they're trying to. He's telling the story, and other characters. He knows that. Like, tell me that they had you. I feel like John Steinbeck kind of shows his stories are for. That's not what it's. And he goes on, and it's every bit as horrible. Like, other railway workers find out that his mom disguised himself so that she could actually work, send it back home. And they discover that she's a killer. Like a horrible, it's a horrible thing. But it's just interesting that there's something in that rings true, where I think it resonates. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to fire the old East of Eden up. That's a good 40-hour.
You guys can do that. You guys can do that on your own.
We're gonna start the.
They got a Cliff Notes. They got a Cliff Notes version of that.
I'm
Just
sure they do.
bullet points. I like the little YouTube videos with the animations and the nice narrator man says, and then all the comments are like, "This is a lifesaver. I had a book report due tomorrow." And I'm like, "Me too, buddy. Me too." Except my book report's a podcast. No,
man, imagine being half of a podcast.
No, dude, it's.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you,
man,
buddy.
square peg in a round hole. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, it was a good read though. I enjoyed it and enjoyed listening. Wow, that's rude.
Got a little alarm going off.
He's like, I have to
He's gotta go home. Get out of here, Evan.
But yeah, man. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts?
There's a letter that that's pretty. That I feel at some. I could read.
Just read it.
Read it right
So
now,
okay,
my
it's
brother.
actually he wrote a letter to Marilyn Monroe. actually.
Was
And
it
people
like a
found
lizard
this.
brain letter?
He said.
Uh,
He said,
"Let
no, it was just one letter and it just said, you up.
No, this is just, it's just really funny. And he goes, Dear Marilyn, in my whole experience, I've never known anyone to ask for an autograph for. It is always for a child or an ancient aunt, which gets very tiresome, as you know better. It is therefore with a certain nausea that I tell you that I have a nephew-in-law who lives in Austin, whose name is John Atkinson. He has his foot in the door of puberty, but that is only one of his problems. You are the other. Yeah,
Spicy.
lizard brain. I know that you are not made of celestial ether, but he doesn't. Suggestion that you have normal functions which shock him deep. I'm not going to be the one. On a recent trip to Texas, my wife made the fatal error of telling John that I met you. He doesn't really believe it, but his respect for me has gone up even for long. Now I get asked for all kinds of silly favors, so I have no hesitation in asking, would you send him, in my care, a picture of yourself, perhaps in pensive, girlish mood,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
describe
man.
to him by name and indicating that you are aware of his existence? He is already your slave. This would make him.
Dang.
Yo.
Yeah. I will. If you will do this, I will send you a guest key to the ladies' entrance of Fort Knox, and furthermore, I will like you very much. Yours sincerely.
Yo, John Steinbeck kind of wild.
Bro.
Yeah, people
Wow.
wonder like, did she send it? But it was like her possessions from her
Send
for a really
nudes.
long time.
We'd have to ask John Atkinson. Man.
John, you got those.
Bro, you got those
pics.
you got those pics, man. That's crazy.
No, but yeah, it's just funny to kind of think like, oh, that author was
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just-
He's kind of humanizes him. He seems like a down to he is.
yeah, for sure.
Now when
And
go for it. When he says ancient aunt, does he mean like aunt or like an aunt?
He means
Aunt.
he means like
Okay.
the little crawly ant.
I was like, man, he is really out there with his words,
Dude,
man.
you don't like go up to Robert Downey Jr. Be like, hey, so
I need you to write
anthill
this.
in my backyard.
could you?
I
could
feel
you
like he'd
write
be
a
down
letter
for
to
it,
my
though.
aunt?
I feel like he'd be down for it though.
Probably would.
Like
be.
people in Hollywood are kind of nuts.
Anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you sell your soul to, you know.
Actually, that was another thing. Wrote kind of to movies. He wrote a movie for
Was
Alfred Hitchcock.
grown ups too?
Oh, really?
yeah, and it was Lifeboat was the script. Like it's kind of a pretty
Lifeboat?
famous movie, but then he hated it, so he asked. Never stepped.
Sounds like classic artist.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, make
Try-
something really good, and then you're like, I hate it. I don't want to be associated with. That respect,
Understandable.
No.
True artist.
a true artiste.
Yeah, but like I think super great writer, really impacted.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit more careful around rabbits.
You gotta be.
And
You're a large man.
When you see like a
Right.
pretty dress, maybe just say, "Hey, I like that
Yeah.
dress," and
Hey,
not
look
like,
the other
"Hey,
way.
hey, I'm gonna touch your dress."
So Evan, real quick. Okay. So wait, no. Keep looking at the curtain.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, you know that dream we had of starting a second? We were gonna make it about reading books. Doesn't that sound exciting? Doesn't that sound great? No, keep looking at the curtain. Keep looking at the curtain.
Don't look back.
Yeah. You know, you and me, Evan, we're pretty good friends, I would say. We're not like many other friends. Oh, and we've got each other's backs.
Got me.
Yep.
Yep.
Bang.
There you go.
Hey, Trent, you look at the curtain over there, just look at the. Remember the dream we had about doing a podcast
Yeah.
where we had 1 million followers.
Yeah, we were gonna have 1 million followers.
and I would do 0 home. All of the
yeah,
work.
and we were gonna market it.
Isn't that a great dream?
We were gonna promote the ever living crap out of it.
Remember when we could like had the Swift episodes without being harassed?
Dude,
online.
nobody was going to know about that episode. all of the people who watched it would have been our close personal friends, and no Taylor Swift stans
Bang.
would have come into the comments.
Bang. Anyways, Lance, you can quit looking at the curtain.
Okay.
You know, so now it's just you and me.
Mm.
But yeah, man. But yeah, I this is a mess. I appreciate you coming on, dude, and just sharing with us some things that you care about.
Yeah, dude.
And you know, any other time you want to come on and share stuff, we love it. So
No, it's
you're a solid man, and I appreciate you for sharing Americana with me. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Dapper Slaps, who is our number one. And Dapper, anytime you would like to be interviewed on the podcast, please let us know. Leave your information somewhere, and we'd like to have you over on a Zoom call. Give us your personal address. I might show up. I don't know about the rest of the guys, but I'm built different. And
in the UK.
and if you guys don't know, we do have this podcast on Twitch. If you want to watch it live at Swine Before Pearls, and YouTube as well. It's also on YouTube, not just Spotify. So you can watch us and look at us if you're not watching and look at us. Like I'm wearing sunglasses. And YouTube people, it's also on Spotify. So, but God bless Mr. Steinbeck and Marilyn Monroe, and you know, puppies and rabbits, and that's all I got. So.